The Presbyterian Giving Catalog is more than a collection of gifts. It's a way to join together through our shared generosity and gratitude for God's boundless love, to create change throughout the world in the name of Christ. Through simple gifts like goats, seeds, and wells, the Giving Catalog spreads hope, resilience, and a chance for a thriving future. I'd like to share the story of a Somalian family whose hope and dignity were restored through Presbyterian generosity. The family comes from Belet Hawa, which, before it was struck by extreme drought, was a small, bustling farming community that relied on herds of goats, sheep, and camels for food and financial security. But when an acute water shortage hit the region, hundreds of families were rendered destitute and food insecure. Formerly prosperous neighbors became dependent on aid as they fled the area in search of brighter horizons. Families had to make hard decisions and sacrifices regarding food, education, and debts just to survive. One such family was Muhammad Hussein and Habida Abdi. Once a prosperous farmer, Muhammad Hussein found himself vulnerable to hunger and debt due to drought and disease. He faced hard decisions regarding food for the family, school for the children, and debts to cover his expenses. Thankfully, the Presbyterian Church USA's partner in that region, Calmo Relief and Development, was ready to jump into action. Empowered by a $30,000 grant funded in part by gifts through the Giving Catalog, Calmo was able to spearhead an initiative intended to help rebuild Belet Hawa's herds of dairy goats, support crisis-affected families, and provide training for community animal health workers. The Support to Livestock Productivity in Somalia project was developed with community input and in collaboration with government and local partners. More than 200 households were selected, with neighbors supporting one another all along the way. Each household received dairy goats, cattle, and camels to meet immediate needs and boost their economic stability, providing milk for both consumption and sale and reducing their reliance on other sources of food and income. Today, the Abdi family gets an average of 5 liters of milk from their dairy goats, much of which they sell. They no longer face hunger, their debts are paid, and their children have been able to return to school. Because of Presbyterians like you, the Abdi family received more than immediate relief from hunger and fear. They received the immediate assistance they needed so they could flourish, just as God desires for every person. As Muhammad Hussein said, "I can still see the tears of joy in my wife's eyes on the day we received 5 dairy goats. On that particular day, my hope and dignity were restored. May God bless all the hands involved in the process so that you may continue touching many lives." Small gifts make a big impact. Learn more about the Presbyterian Giving Catalog's mission and how you can help at presbyteriangifts.org.